Hi, this is Jeremy Moskowitz, and in this video, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the event system around PolicyPak Least Privilege Manager, some of the most common events that people would like to see. So to get started, I actually have a few rules in place that'll do some automatic and also on-demand elevation. So the first one is PowerPoint Viewer. You can see it's going to automatically elevate that. The second one is going to do Process Monitor, but only elevate on demand. And in between there, I'm going to show you what happens if a user tries to do a challenge and response code. So we'll start off with PowerPoint Viewer here. Again, we have a rule in place, so it just sails on through. I'll go ahead and click Continue and just show you that, in fact, it will run, even though it would normally require admin rights to install. Once this is all done, let me go ahead and show you the event viewer here and give you a quick tour about the event that occurred when that happened. So if I go to event viewer, and you could do this as an admin or a standard user. You can go to applications and services logs. Give this a second to populate. Head down to PolicyPak. And what you're looking for is PolicyPak Least Privilege Manager Client Operational Source. That's interesting in case you decide you want to do a custom view and show just those guys. Anyway, so here in this source, you can see, okay, eSales User 1 PowerPoint Viewer tried to run. There's the command line. You can see it was elevated by a hash rule. That's the name of the policy. You can see the GPO, and you can see the collection that it's in, which is the root. So that's all the information you get, which is pretty great out of that elevation. And you can see it has a particular event ID. Let's move on to a challenge and response. So if I click on, say, Silverlight install, that doesn't have a rule, you see I get the PolicyPak admin approval dialog box. And hey, if the user tries to call you and you're not there, they have to click cancel, and well, let's see what kind of event they get when that happens. So if we were to refresh this, we can see, okay, the dialog was canceled. So therefore, that was an application that was attempted to run. That was the Silverlight install that was tried to run. You can see it was an application installer type, and you can see the user, and you can see that it's signed. So there's a bunch of information that's contained here, and that's a particular event ID as well, so you can sort of get right in there. Now, let's continue down the road here. Let's pretend that you are at your desk. So they click on Silverlight install, they call you up, or the help desk or whatever, they give you the request code. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. I'm then going to use the admin approval tool, which you'll probably have seen in other videos. I'll paste it in here, and I want to run this one time, and I can pick a reason code. Let's say it's an installation for a user. This will come up in just a second. So I'll use this one time, and it'll never expire. Sometimes this lets me copy and paste between VMs, and sometimes it doesn't. Let's see if it wants to cooperate here. Yep, it did. Okay, so there's the response code. When I go ahead and click OK as the user, bam, you can see Silverlight now goes ahead and does its installation here. Go ahead and give this a second to finish up, and we're done. Let's go ahead and see that event in the event system. So if I refresh here, you can see, boom, dialog success. This is event 613, okay, which is different than the one that was earlier, that we saw earlier. So now we can see that that command line succeeded. It's a application installer, and you can see that, again, it's signed. Code uses 1 of 1. Again, if you made it such that this was a reoccurring code, that would show up here. So you could have it 1 time, 5 times, 10 times, and never expire, and so on. So those things are all listed here. You can see how many code uses there are. And also apply to child processes as well, which is an important privilege to hand out or to restrict. So that's the second thing I wanted to show. The last thing I wanted to show is this idea of self-elevation. So going back to the process monitor rule here, this process monitor rule, I have a special condition in place that would let an advanced user apply on demand, okay, or do what's called self-elevation. This is handy for developers or advanced users who, when they click on something, maybe you want it to run standard, but you know that you can teach these special users how to right-click and run with PolicyPak. So this is a special apply on demand rule, and when you do that, hey, the application runs correctly, and you probably want this to be logged. So let's go ahead and see what that logging looks like. So we'll go back to Event Viewer here. We'll go ahead and refresh this. And here we go. So the following process has been run with elevated token. That's procmon. And this is event 605. And you can see that that was run just the way you would expect here. All the same information you saw earlier. So that gives you the ability to know when a user has done a self-elevation rule. That's it for right now. So we actually have all the event IDs hanging out in the manual ready for you to explore. If you are interested, there are other videos on how to take these, round these event logs up, send them to a collection server or collection system, and then if you wanted to also use something like Splunk to paw through them and get pretty charts and graphs and so on. But for now, this is a very quick tour to help you get on your way. Hope this gets you on the right path. Thank you very much and talk to you soon.